Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston and it is Thursday, 11 a.m. in Queensland, noon in New South Wales, and you can figure it out from there. So welcome everybody. Great to see you here. Please let me know where you're from, and what brought you here today. You know, it's always great to actually know why people come on to listen for 30 minutes to obviously what I love to share. I really do believe the more and more that I deep dive into loss, the more that our lack of loss intelligence is what holds us back in so many areas of our lives. That's my mission. That's why I'm here, and that's why I love doing what I do. So please reach out, and yay, my book is here. And guess what? It is an international bestseller. Yes, so exciting. I have one copy. This is my sample copy. I've just ordered some more, but you can go online and you can download it. And you can also, get it into Kindle, or you can purchase it from online things, which is totally amazing. And I'll just post that in here now, but I will be talking about it later. But today we're going to talk about something completely different. But before we do that, as always, I'm going to choose a card from these amazing channel spiritual guidance cards from Marcia Quinton, which I find are amazing. So just while you're typing in where you're from, and hi, Michelle, great to see you here. Might have to move everything over a little bit. I just can't see my comments as well as, let me just fix all of my lighting and whatnot up. I should have done that before. But anyway, great to be here as always. So what is the card that we're going to get today? Now, this card is for everyone who is here, whether you are watching it live or in the replay. And today I am going to actually choose the bottom card. Okay, been guided to choose the bottom card, so that's exactly what I'm about to do. Hi, Kerry, great to see you here from Sydney. Whereabouts in Sydney? Let me know. I've lived half my life on the Gold Coast and half in Sydney, in various parts of Sydney. Right, this is the card for all of us. Oh, my God, look how amazing that is. Let me make sure that you can see it quite clearly. It's card number 24, and it's called Journey. Now, we are all on a life journey, aren't we? And the more that we realise we're in a life journey, it's amazing. Hi, Elizabeth from Scotland. Great to see you here. Amanda from South Australia, and Angela from South Australia as well, one from Whyalla and one from Mount Gambier. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, today's little card is all about our journey, and we are all on a journey, aren't we? We're all on a journey, I believe, to becoming our own best friend. And it is an amazing journey, and the more that you embrace that, the easier I feel life becomes. And believe me, that's something I embraced over 10 years ago, and it makes such a difference. Well, probably about 9 years ago, because 10 years ago my son passed. But that was one of the things that I found is the easiest way to heal is to become your own best friend. So the journey, a safe passage is ahead. Yahoo! You are embarking on a new journey. The universe is opening the door. You have a choice. Stay safe on the current path, or take a risk and walk a new, refreshing path. You will be safe on your journey, either one you choose. Don't look back in regret, only move forward in awareness. Open your channel of communication, allowing the mind to absorb the strength of this newly found choice and create the path you seek. This is the beginning of many new exciting discoveries as the journey unfolds. Oh my God, how amazing is that? And let's face it, we are on a journey to freedom. Thank you, Alison. That's more or less exactly the same sentiment that I was about to share, that I honestly feel that the last 18 months, 2 years, is a journey to freedom. It's a journey to actually knowing what we want and what we don't want. And there's a lot of things that have happened over the last couple of years where I think we've all come to a conclusion, you know what? I don't want that in my life, and I don't need that in my life. And it may be a person, it may be a place, it may be a thing. And, it is about us releasing the things that we don't. So we are all on a journey. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Don't look back with regret. Only move forward in awareness. Isn't that a beautiful way to live our lives all the time? And hello, Raylene. Great to see you. So today, as always, we are, I've got something planned. It's not just all up in the air. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the fifth step in the gift of loss process, or staircase, which I absolutely love. So let me get up my trusty little slides. I think that's where I want to be. Yes, that's where I want to be. So for those of you who have been here before, you probably would have seen the beginning of this before, but this is what my whole, I guess, philosophy in life is all about, is that we are all on this journey from love to loss and then back to love. Though, because we have such a huge lack of loss intelligence, a lot of us get stuck in loss. We know how to love, and we know how amazing life is when we are loving life, when we're loving ourselves, when we're loving people in our life, and we're loving what we're doing. It's just amazing. We jump out of bed and we have an amazing time. And then loss comes to visit. We get stuck because of our lack of loss intelligence. And that's what I hugely believe that my journey has been all about. It's about bringing me to find that more loving way, that better way, so that we can very quickly, when loss comes to visit, grab the lessons and then move quickly back into love. So that's more or less exactly what I'm about in a nutshell. That's what I love to share with people. That's who I am. That's what I do. It's that simple. So there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. When I first read that, I went, no way. I went looking for the list. And I found one, but I've added things to it over the years. So here is the list. And it's really important that we get to understand that loss is not just a loss of a loved one. It can be a marriage breakdown or a partnership breakdown, your health, your wealth, your pets, your job. But what's really come up though in the last, 18, 20 months is the fact that there are so many of the minor ones, loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of status, loss of identity, changing work conditions, changing recreational activities, changing social activities. And, there's also putting so many different things out there that if you are this person, you can do this. And if you're this person, you can do that. What's that about? We're all equal. We're all one. There is no one greater. There is no one lower. So why is there a divide? And it's a huge loss to all of us. It's a loss, as we've said, loss of freedom. And we are on a journey to freedom. So this is the fifth show that I've been taking these 5 steps up the gift of loss staircase. And what we have found in the previous 4 episodes, and it's on this channel if you want to go back and have a look at them, Monday and Thursday. So for the past 4 episodes, you will find them there if you want more detail on each one. But these are the first 4 steps that we have taken over those 4 shows. We learnt that the first step is to stop, because when we stop, we connect to who we are. We connect to where we are right now and what it means for us moving forward. Acceptance is something about us deep diving in and taking responsibility for what has happened. We may not like it, but we can't change it. The event has happened, and it's then about us accepting and coming to us so that we can identify what are the best steps for us forward. Where are the things that we need to identify that we can heal? What are the things that we wish we had said and hadn't said, or wish we'd done, and all those sort of things. And all of these things have really come up big time over the pandemic. And then we take the 4th step to complete, where we wrap it all into one, and we come to a beautiful stage where we learn to apologize and to forgive and to acknowledge. It's the most amazing step. But today we're on to the 5th step. So the 5th step is that we learn how to pivot. Now, I understand this word's quite overused at the moment, but this is the most ideal word for what we're about to very quickly go through. Alison, we are very much under a DV situation by coercion. Yes, I will probably tend to agree with that, but we're not going to go into that energy now. What we're going to do is we're going to go into an energy of how we can pivot, because this is really important for our way forward. Okay. And this step is actually, these whole 5 steps, the gift of loss, is amazing for any way, any loss that is coming to your life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a death of a loved one or a divorce or a job loss. It's for every single scenario. And it's the process that you do for when you are moving from one phase of your life into another. And we're all doing that. We're all moving into a new world. So this is the most ideal process for all of us to know and to understand and to move forward. Hello, Kels from Long Island, New York. Great to see you here. I believe that it's probably around 9:10 p.m. or is it 8 p.m. over there at the moment? I think your clocks went back, didn't they? Anyway, let us know what time it is. And obviously you would be on Wednesday night. So thank you for being here late at night. So how do we learn how to pivot? Well, the first thing that we need to do is we need to actually deep dive into our lives. And in the Chaston Center model, we have 9 areas of life, which you can clearly see are mentally, professionally, financially, family, socially, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and environmentally. 8 p.m. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. The clocks went back. Okay, so what does all this mean? Like, that's a lot of areas of life. And, don't I just have to have my life in general? Well, you can. But what I have found is the more that you deep dive into each of these areas of life, the more that you actually have goals and you have a plan and an action steps on how to move from where you are now to where you want to be. And then you just take those steps so you can close that gap and close that gap and close that gap. And this is beautiful. Now, you're never going to spend the same amount of time in each area of life, but it is really important for you to spend some time every week in each area of your life, even if it is just a check-in to say, okay, so how am I growing in this area this week? From a mental point of thing, what are the things that you are watching, reading, bringing into your life? How do you speak to yourself? And are these things bringing you up or bringing you down? Because it's very easy for us from a mental perspective to bring ourselves down. Whereas when we start to take note of the things that we're watching, the things that we're listening to, the way we speak to ourselves, the words we use, our language is so important that, and most of us have been taught, when we were learning our language, we were taught from a necessity point of view. You have to do this, or this is it, sort of thing, as opposed to possibilities. You may choose this or you may not. And what's the possibility when you make these choices? It comes back to that card. You get to choose, and either way will be okay for you. So it's really important for us to understand this. Now, I also understand that 9 areas of life is a lot for you to remember. And so this is why I've broken it down into 4 pillars. The all about you pillar, the all about your relationships, all about your expertise, and all about your wealth creation. Now, I purposely said them in that order or displayed them in that order because that is the most ideal way for us to learn how to pivot, for us to learn how can we move forward. You come first, then your relationships, then what you do for a living, and then the wealth creation. Now, most of us, when we were young, we decided all of this, consciously or unconsciously, this is the wealth I want to accumulate over my lifetime. And to get that wealth, I need to do this job. Sure, I'll grab some relationships along the way and I'll look after me along the way. What I have found in my life journey is that when you put yourself last, you do tend to not have enough energy. You'll end up in resentment. You will end up not being healthy. Your relationships will probably not be ideal. And the same with your job. You may not even be loving your job. Whereas when you do put yourself first, not from a selfish perspective, more from a when my cup is full, it's over, it is running over, and therefore I have more than enough for everyone else. And I am, healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And when you are fit and in amazing order in those four areas of life, you just will automatically build these relationships. You become the example for everyone else. It's like, have you ever seen or met someone you think, my God, everything is just flowing so easily for them. And they're the nicest people you'll ever meet. They're always calm. They understand their emotions. They actually have empathy. They just have this essence about them. And they are the most down to earth, grounded, but they also sort of have this charm about them that you just can't explain. And you just know, like, and trust them because you can feel how different they are. That's the energy, and that's the essence of what the pivot stage is all about. Is it about you deep diving into you? And it's not easy, right? I'm not going to say it's easy. We have been taught, shove your feelings down, hide them, whatever happens in life, just get up, move on, give it time. Everything will be all right. Just forget about it, and just shove it down by whichever avoidance tactic you have decided works for you. Food, alcohol, drugs, working too much, shopping too much, exercising too much, sitting on the couch for too long. We have created a world of avoidance tactics. Social media, Netflix. How often do we sit and just do a binge? And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but if you're doing it every day, well, then it becomes a bad thing. Sometimes that's how I relax. I sit there, you just numb yourself and you can just go through it. But I learn so much from watching so many different shows and movies and stuff. I'm always writing down notes and stuff like that. And, it is a great thing. So, Tabitha, nice to see you here. I'm watching this and a big black crow has landed in front of me. Oh, wow. I love the energies of crows. So isn't that beautiful that your spirit and animal has come up to you today to actually go, And actually, the fact you said that, remember the movie The Crow with Brandon Lee in it? It was such a good movie. But, I hope that doesn't happen. It won't be like that. But, yeah, tap into the energy of the crow, Tabitha, and thank you so much for sharing that. Isn't it great when you are actually aware of the nature around you, how it guides you and how it sustains you and makes you feel so amazing? It is beautiful, and I don't know, there's such an elegance around a crow. And I know that some people say they're scavengers and things like that, but are they, or are they just so in tune with their lot in life, how they can live and love their life? That's the thing. And it is really beautiful that so often we tend to go to a negative of something, whereas we live in a world of opposites, good, bad, left, right, all these different sort of opposites that when we start to focus on one perspective, there is always another. And when you take the time to say, well, what is the reverse of that? What is the opposite? So, and which meaning will I take? And when we start to do that, we not only do we broaden our perspective, but we also start to see things differently. And, Wayne Dyer's infamous saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And as he always said, it's not just a clever spin on words. It's actually you do start to look at things differently. Your life changes and you do everything changes. You start to see things. You start to see that there are everyday, synchronicities. There is no such thing as a coincidence. And when you start to see the thread and notice the thread, you really can sit back and go, oh my God, look at that, look at that, look at that. And this is what the pivot stage is all about. It's deep diving into everything that has happened in your life so that you can find that gift. That's the reason why the staircase is called the gift of loss. And it's not that easy. I totally understand. I've been there. I've had many tragic loss events in my life. Starting with at 16, choosing to adopt my daughter out. Was it an easy choice? The more I look back at it, she's going to be 48 at the end of this year. And the more I look back at it, the more I go, did I have a choice? The choice was get married, keep your baby, or adopt your baby out. I didn't want to get married. I was too young. Which is great that, people don't have to choose like that today. It's not an easy choice. She is in my life and we're on a journey together. And it's been a very up and down journey, but I chose not to leave in the downs because I knew there would be an up. And I knew that through every down, we were getting to know each other more. We were getting to be together more. We got to actually experience things that at 16, I never ever thought would ever happen, because at that stage, I thought I would never ever meet her. And then, years later, different choices that I've made, finding my son dead at my back door over 10 years ago. That wasn't easy, but and then, choosing redundancy. Everyone has a story of love and loss, but it is all about you. And this is why I do what I do, because it's really important for us all to know that you are the only person you are going to spend your entire life with. No one else, you. So I want to ask you some questions. Are you putting yourself last? Are you saying yes to others and inadvertently saying no to yourself? Are you giving up on your hopes and dreams and aspirations so that someone else can get theirs? It's really important for us to understand that when loss comes to visit, in any of its forms, it is a gift, because it's like it's drawing a line in the sand on your life path, on your life journey, to say to you, are you living and loving your life? Are you the best version of yourself? Are you the person who you came here to be? Or have you allowed life to wash over you and remove all of your dreams and your hopes and your aspirations? That's the questions, that every one of us is ideal for us all to be asking ourselves. And what I've found with every person who I've worked with is it always comes down to the quality of the questions that you're asking yourself. That's what the quality of your life is all about. It equals the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Because for every question, there's an answer waiting to be revealed. And for every answer, there's an action step waiting to be taken. Now, you get to choose whether you take that step or not. But what I've found is when you do choose to take that step, you get closer and closer and closer, closing that gap continually to where you are now, to where you want to be in any area of your life. And that's where it's so beautiful. But it starts with the questions, and then it starts with listening to the answers, really listening. Not listening to the answers that work for you and throwing the other ones away because you don't want that. How do you know you don't want that? You've never had it before. You don't know where that's going to lead. And we're on a journey. It was clear. This journey card is exactly what we're on. A journey to becoming our own best friend. It's that simple. And that's what loss is about. It's guiding you. And thank you, Nettie, for saying it's beautiful. So I'm fast running out of time because I do 30-minute shows now, which I really love because I just feel that they make it more concise and everything. So what's the next step for you all? Well, I highly recommend that you download, either purchase it as a book or purchases it on Kindle, and you will be amazed. This book details out how you can create that loving life after any kind of loss. It's, we have a lack of loss intelligence, and this is why we suffer so much. This is why we don't believe in ourselves so much. This is why we allow life and its trials and its tribulations to batter us and move us about and bring us down and find ourselves, on our knees, wondering how we're ever going to get up. Not with this book. This shows you how you can easily move beyond any kind of loss. So I highly recommend that you purchase that. Now, as always, we're finished there. So I'll go over here when I get over here. Where have I gone? Here I am. There I am. Back again. Okay. So this is to download the book. I've made it simple for you. You don't have to type that down. But what I'm also going to share with you is what I've found is that some people find it easier just to reach out to me and send me an email. So here is my email address. So please do so. If you would like to have a, 15, 20-minute chat about anything, here's my email address. Just reach out. All I ask is in the subject line, put down where you found me, how we connected. Obviously, because I'm on different platforms, I do different things all over the place, meet with different people. So that's it. This is how you easily move beyond loss and create that life where you really do love your life. So is there any more questions? I've got a few more minutes. And then it is about you going on with your day, whether it's the evening or what it is. Kel's in New York, which is an amazing place. I love New York, I must say. I went there in 2010 and I went there with a group of friends and I was like, I don't know if I really want to go to New York. Oh, my God. It was the best. I was amazed, and I hope it is also at the moment. I know that you've had probably been hit very badly with such a huge population in such a small area. But, it is about us always finding the gift, moving on and creating that beautiful everyday life. And that's what the gift of loss is all about. So, as I said, I highly recommend you getting this because this will assist you. I detail every step on the gift of loss staircase. I, deep dive into many of the different loss events. Great storyteller, all the clients that have gifted me. Thanks. Reach out anytime. What kind of questions? Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by what kind of questions. The questions you ask yourself, is that what you mean, Kels? Or is it that, anything you want to ask me about life, how to move forward? If that's what you're talking about, why would I chat with you? Any sort of questions, anything where you're stuck. You just don't know. Maybe you don't even know what sort of questions are ideal for you to be asking yourself. Maybe you're not sure what the moving forward is all about. Because we're not going back. There is no such thing as normal. We're all going forward, probably jumping forward or probably being rocketed forward into a new world. And isn't that exciting? Where do you see me? Okay, I don't do readings like that. I will chat with people and I'm more than happy. So, what sort of questions do you mean in my future? I don't do that. Kels. You are the master you are seeking. I can assist you to find the answers for yourself. If you want to have a 15-minute chat, there's my email address. Reach out and we can go from there. And that's it for me. I will be back here again on Monday and Thursday next week at this time. So I look forward to seeing you then for 30 minutes, and we will be venturing onto something else now that we've walked the staircase. Believe me, There is so much content in this book. We will be here for a while. So look after yourself and remember, you are not only the master you are seeking, it's time for you to become your own best friend. Make each day memorable, meaningful, and magical. Bye.